around 4th millennium to 3rd millennium BC, there were 4 civilizations which were contemporary to each other. And all these civilizations were located on the banks of some or the other river. Mesopotamian civilization, which encompassed the region of Iran, Iraq, Syria, Kuwait, and southeastern Turkey, was located on the banks of Tigris and Euphrates River. Chinese civilization was located on the banks of Yellow or Wango River. And Egyptian civilization was located on the banks of longest river of the world, that is River Nile. And the name itself speaks. Indus Valley civilization was located on the banks of River Indus. The credit for discovery of Indus Valley civilization goes back to Dayaram Sahani way back in 1921. In fact, Indus Valley civilization is also referred as Harappan civilization because Harappa was the first site to be excavated. But in 19th century, a person named as James Lewis, also called as Charles Masson, was the first to observe the existence of civilization in this region. So what is the story of James Lewis? Who was Richard Potter? How did he excavate it, or how did he discover that there existed a civilization majorly in the northern and northwestern part of India? Let's explore this in today's short video. The session or the story won't be much lengthier, but it is quite interesting. You'll come to know about important facts as well. So please stick in the video till the end. Charles Masson. Who is Charles Masson? It is said that James Lewis was a normal person and living a peaceful life in the region of London. And he was working as a clerk at a firm in London. But after some time, there was internal dissensions and quarrel with his father. And due to this, he was forced to join the British Indian Army in India. So in 1822, he came to India and joined the Bengal Artillery. But his inclination was something else. He was interested in study of coins, that is numismatics. He was interested in studying the rare artifacts. And same thing was there with his own military commander, who was interested in studying zoological specimen, study of rare coins, and so on. And when his military commander involved him in this objective, it is believed that he understood one thing, that his calling was something different. He was not meant for the battlefield. He was not meant for wars. He was meant for rare discoveries. And at that time, he decided to desert the army. So, James Lewis, along with one of the soldiers, Richard Potter, deserted the British Indian Army. And at that time, the punishment for desertion was only one. That is death penalty and nothing else. So what did this person do? James Lewis changed his name to Charles Masson and Richard Potter's name to John Brown. And both of them knew one thing. The soldiers of British Indian Army might be finding them. So they started moving towards the northwestern part. And then began a journey of the exploration of different regions of northern part of India and northwestern India. That is Afghanistan, Kabul, Balochistan, Sindh, certain parts of Rajasthan, Punjab, and so on. Now the duo, that is James Lewis, who has now become Charles Masson, and Richard Potter, who has now become John Brown, reached the region of Punjab. And the region of Punjab was ruled by a Sikh ruler, Maharaja Ranjit Singh Ji. And in the court of Maharaja Ranjit Singh Ji, they came across a person whose name was Harlan Josiah. He was American adventurer. So what was Harlan Josiah doing in the court of Maharaja Ranjit Singh? First of all, Harlan Josiah had told Maharaja Ranjit Singh Ji that I am an American adventurer, a doctor, a statesman. And here I am there in India to explore new things. But his intrinsic intention was something different. What was his intention? Now there were two warring families in the region of Afghanistan. Specifically speaking, one was the Duranis and the other were Barakzais. And at this point of time, when the two parties are fighting, Harlan Josiah had an intention to carve out a kingdom for himself. And for this hidden intention, or to fulfill this hidden intention, he was staying in the court of Maharaja Ranjit Singh. Now, why Maharaja Ranjit Singh? Because he knew one important fact, that Maharaja Ranjit Singh had animosity with Duranis. So in the coming years, he might help out Harlan in carving out a kingdom for him. So Charles Masson and this person, Richard Potter, who is now referred as John Brown, told Harlan that, in fact, we are also American adventurer. And Harlan, he trusted both of them, and they did not said that we are deserters of the British Indian Army. He trusted both of them and took them in the army of Maharaja Ranjit Singh Ji. After some time, Charles Masson realized that his intentions were different. His calling was different. And there is nothing in common between Harlan and Charles Masson. So he also deserted Harlan. And this annoyed Harlan completely. Okay. And what happened with the another person, John Brown? He joined the army of Maharaja Ranjit Singh. Now, Charles Masson, after deserting British Indian Army and deserting Harlan, he started moving towards the northwestern part of India. He reached the region of Kabul, that is Afghanistan. And when he reached the region of Kabul, he started intermingling with the natives of that region. Apart from this, he started studying their languages. He started identifying the coins of that region. He came across the rare artifacts of that region and exploring them. Meanwhile, misfortune struck him. In 1836, there was quarrel between Harlan and Maharaja Ranjit Singh. And due to this person, Harlan, he deserted Maharaja Ranjit Singh and joined hand with the Durrani Empire ruler whose name was Dost Muhammad. So in fact, Durrani Empire was founded by Ahmad Shah Abdali, but later on it was being, another important ruler was Dost Muhammad. So after deserting Maharaja Ranjit Singh, Harlan moved towards Afghanistan. Okay. And when he moved towards the region of Kabul or Afghanistan, here he saw this person, Charles Masson. And we have initially discussed that already he was annoyed and infuriated with Charles Masson. Why? Because he had deserted whom? He had deserted Maharaja Ranjit Singh and Harlan. Immediately this person, whose name was specifically Harlan, informed the Britishers about the whereabouts of this person, Charles Masson. Charles Masson was caught by the British Indian Army and he was given one option. And that was work as a spy for us in Afghanistan. Why? Because in fact, English East India Company was also having animosity with the Durrani Empire founder, Dost Muhammad. So, work for us as a spy. Now, Charles Masson was under confusion. Why? Because if he denied the offer for working as a spy for English East India Company, the British Indian Army will execute him. And if he accepts the offer, and in such a case, Harlan finds about this, and Dost Muhammad finds about this, that he is working as a spy for English East India Company, they will execute him. But still, he accepted the offer and he informed everything to whom? He informed everything to the British Indian Army. Finally, as a part of Anglo-Afghan wars, it is believed that Dost Muhammad was being defeated and Charles Masson was being pardoned for his service. So it is believed that Charles Masson, he had a keen interest in numismatics, that is study of coins. He was an expert numismatist. He had a collection of rare 47,000 coins. Apart from this, he had discovered more than 50 Buddhist sites. One of the finest example was Bamiyan Caves, which is located 170 to 180 kilometers from Kabul. In the NCERT, you might have studied about the standing statue of Buddha at Bamiyan Caves. Although it's not present today, but the standing statue of Buddha at Bamiyan Cave is quite famous. Discovered by whom? Charles Masson. He also came across Shahabaz Gadi inscription, which mentions about one thing. And what was that? Probably Ashoka might have ruled over this region, or after the Battle of Kaling, when Ashoka embraced Buddhism, when he embraced Dhammaghosh, it is believed that he might have sent his missionaries to the other parts of the world to spread Buddhism. And one such region might be Afghanistan. He had also observed one thing, that there was a lot of Greek influence in the region of Afghanistan, which is also depicted in the coming years in the form of Gandhar School of Art. So, although Indus Valley Civilization, it was excavated in 1921 by Dairam Sahani, there could have been a civilization that existed, was highlighted for the first time by Charles Masson way back in 19th century. This was the story of James Lewis, also referred as Charles Masson, who observed the Indus Valley Civilization for the first time. Hope you like this story. My friends, Target Year 2027, StudyIQ IS English has come up with the Target Year GSP2I Foundation batch. And the admissions for the batches would be closing on 25th of November. The batches have started on 18th of November. And the most important aspect, there are batches for English medium, that is Hindi plus English, bilingual batches, a separate batch for Hindi medium and a separate batch for English medium that will cater to the needs of the aspirants precisely from southern part of India and northeastern India. To get the benefits of these batches, use the code Alok Live that is flashing on your screen. And the fees for this batches is 20,999. The admissions are closing on 25th of November. So use the code Alok Live. Hope you liked the video. Thank you and have a wonderful day.